He's a highly persuasive, highly manipulative person. I'm not insulting the intelligence and integrity of anyone who falls under his swing. This is what people do. You don't have to feel bad about being conned by a con person. They're professionals. They know what they're doing. The you shithead. Everybody knows that Doxxgate was Corey Goode. You ain't gonna throw people off
Corey Goode, but then when it came to comments
the track, you're gonna go down looking like a dumbass over this. I hope you're happy, but you know what? You know what you're gonna do? Prediction. You make
that it really wasn't the fact that the ruiner was making up
predictions about me that I'm gonna have a new narrative and story. Here's my prediction. My prediction is that Unirock is gonna say that I was panicked. That me and Kelly were up here freaking out because he's got us on the ropes. Then you're gonna do you're gonna find something else to talk about, and you're gonna drop this like a hot potato until I open my mouth and forget about you and then remember myself about you and say something stupid. You know, Natasha, we do this in life, right? We have disagreements with people in the workplace. We have disagreements with people in our family. And there's plenty of times when the next words out of our mouth could be, oh, yeah, well, you know, you have a drinking problem. Or, yeah, well, everyone knows what you did at the Christmas party with Henry. Right. And we catch ourselves and we say, even though I could say that, I'm not going to. Because it's classist, it's declassé, it's wrong, it's rude, it's triggering, it's argumentative, it achieves nothing and defeats the entire purpose of communication. So even though I could say it, I'm not going to say it. But the thing about Unirock is, he's an ugly, small, rat-faced little motherfucker with a broke-ass body who should run into the wall for entertainment value of the assembled crowd. I'll say that, and then you'll get another B&E body over that, because I told the broke-ass body who should run into the wall for entertainment value of the assembled crowd. Broke-ass body who should run into the wall for entertainment value
Corey Goode is watching.
of the assembled
Tell Jay
crowd.
Widener to stay away from Jeff
And drop this like a hot potato until I open my mouth and forget about you and then remember myself about you and say something stupid like, and you know the other thing about Unirock is he's an ugly, small, rat-faced little motherfucker with a broke-ass body who should run into the wall for entertainment value of the assembled.
What are you saying? Look, the way we treat people is what defines us, right? I treat everyone the same based on the evidence and their actions, okay?
Is not available. Is not available.
You could do is take on our ideas and concepts, explain to us, engage in the conversation. Let's talk about this. Defend your, tell me, explain to me.
Did was get on and do research and state his opinion and present facts.
Right. Apparently that's not allowed. He was acting like a researcher, even if you don't think he's a decent researcher, even if you don't like the conclusions that he reached. Any journalist worth their stones, any journalist worth their salt would not do an attack. Would no one understand the importance of, what is it, the Fourth Estate, would not attack another researcher and journalist in this base and cruel way. This is what people do. You don't have to feel bad about being conned by a con person. They're professionals. They know what they're doing.
The way we treat people is what defines us, right? I treat everyone the same based on the evidence and their actions, okay? So my point is, yes, are you kidding me? You just said it again, though. She is required to prove her side if she wants to make the claim. That's the foundation of our entire community. It's a debunking community, CW. We go in to take a look at major claims that are happening and whether we can prove they're telling the truth or lying, and that's what we show. And the screenshots at every single person that analyze them say they don't prove what you're saying they prove. My logic is flawed. Just tell me how. You're not even giving me... Tell me how. Tell me why. Help me understand, dude. Help me understand. Because I looked at all the screenshots. They do not prove that Corey Goode doxed anyone. You're saying my logic's flawed. Well, how? How? I never said, you said that someone had to repeat their argument until people are convinced. All I said was you have to prove your side. You're acting like you just typed it in the chat. You acting like I'm saying Kelly has to continue to repeat it. She just has to prove it. What Kelly put out didn't prove it. The screenshots only. So maybe if you take, so what you're saying is, I read it. I read what you said back to you. My point is, Kelly needs to prove it once. She just needs to prove it all, she didn't prove it on your show. I watched it again. You talked for Doxxgate 3 is when Kelly came on your show. You talked for 53 minutes. You got Kelly on. You and Kelly bantered a little bit back and forth, and that was the end of the stream. So I can't say that your stream proved it, right? So I looked to the evidence, right? I look to the evidence. I'm saying, okay, I'll prove it through the evidence, but the screenshots do not prove it. So then I say to myself, well, fuck, I'll get a hold of Kelly and CW. CW hates me. How do we do this? Well, let's have Kev reach out, because me and Kev, amongst all the other people that helped, concluded that you guys must have more evidence or screenshots to draw your conclusion from. I have a pretty damn good reason. I have pretty good logic behind it, but it's like every time I say it, you get offended. So it's like, what's the point of me stating it now when you're just going to get angry, right?
And I've seen that game played 1,000 times. I tell people all the time, I go, look, in my brief time on planet Earth, I've been involved in Scientology, the Church of Satan, the International Society of Krishna Consciousness, Adidam, Swami Narayan Hinduism. I've been around the bench. So when I tell you that something sounds and smells like and acts like a cult, don't worry about it. Just take my word for it and run.
I'm gonna make it red. I'm gonna take a little time and set things straight. Make it red. I'm paying for my sins and it sure feels great. Feels so good to be making up for all the things I've done wrong. I know now what the good Lord in heaven wanted from me all along. I'm gonna make it red.
Whenever I get things wrong, it's not for any intentional double dealing. It's because sometimes our passions get a hold of us. You might think that you're dealing with someone who's a fair-handed, even dealer, and then it turns out that you were backing the wrong horse. These things happen in life, but like I said, if we remember, the whole thing is just always remind people that if you listen to people as if you're listening to people you just met at a bar or at a club or at a social occasion, don't sign off on anything automatically. Listen with your own ears and think about things and think about what people are saying. Then you find yourself in a wonderful position where you can just take in people's ideas, concepts, and stories as food for thought, rather than taking it as some sort of dictation from the heavens about the way things are.
Call me whatever. You can call me a shill till the cows come home. You got me? Call me a shill from here to Tuesday. You could say I did this and that and this all day. Say what I am. It doesn't change the facts that he made all these statements without a burden of proof. Okay? And literally, once you realize that he made these statements without a burden of proof, at least you'll be able to take your mind to the point where, why would he do that? What would lead somebody to create this giant beginning of Doxxgate narrative? Because everything that happened after the docs came out is still true, and it makes Corey and Jordan look like pure scum still. But why would he jump in and you already know he wasn't doxxed.
And I tell people all the time, I go, look, there's plenty of people that are going to tell you, that come on YouTube and they tell you they've got all the answers for this or that, whether it's because they're enlightened or whether or not they've been blessed by angels or whether or not they channel, the third rock from the sun or whatever the case may be, that they can tell you all these things that they know. And I tell people, I go, take a break from all that stuff and tune into me, and you're just going to get someone just like you that says, I got more questions than answers. You know what I mean? I'm just here trying to figure it all out. And that's what we're doing. We're living life. You know what I mean? And I think you might agree with me that it is a wonderful time to be alive in this community, because something started and something's been starting and happening, and there's a whole bunch of new voices on the scene who are not going to take it anymore, and are not just going to accept people at their word and just hand over their money, hand over their soul, hand over their hours, and hand over their free thinking mind, but are going to ask important questions and are going to press and are going to say things like, hey, doesn't this smell a lot like Hollywood BS?
This is stupid. You guys, when two groups of people don't understand each other, you can't just try and diffuse attention.
Is he seriously giving a speech right now? Is he seriously giving a speech right now?
This is what people do. You don't have to feel bad about being conned by a con person. They're professionals. They know what they're doing. a lot to dissect, and we're all trying to find. What ends up happening is that this is all going down in real time. So as things are happening every day, things change. You not only have to deal with digesting the actions of people, you have to digest and dissect their doublespeak, and you have to do it, with some crowd noise. You have to deal with crowd noise on your side, people that are inclined to believe with you, and you have to deal with a lot of pushback from some people that are they sock accounts, are they just true believers who are deceived in some way or just dedicated to a cause. But the couple of things that we need to know and understand what's happening in a nutshell. And in fact, I joined the ranks. I was doxxed today. The same parties.
Were you?
Yeah. They put out a picture of me, my father, my parts of my law firm's website. All these things, and basically using my real name, which is the essential nature of a dox.
You did it to yourself.
I want now for every troll in here, you're about to get the facts laid down on your ass. This is your leader. You just said, why would I believe Corey Goode on something? Even though I didn't believe Corey Goode on something, you still said that. So I have to ask you why you're believing CW Chanter on anything this dude says. And let's just do this. Let's play these two clips directly next to each other, and you better take your ass over to your fucking cult leader master and ask him this, or else, what are you other than a sock account for him if you cannot ask him this? This is what he said on the day of Doxxgate 3. His second video on Doxxgate. It's Doxxgate 3 because it was the first day, then the second day happened, then the third day, fourth day, fifth day. He did a video the first day and the third day. Doxxgate 1, he did not provide any evidence that this was going on. I've proven that, pulled it up on my screen with everyone here and showed it. Doxxgate 3, third day is his second video. Listen to what he says, and then I guess I don't have to take anything that comes out of this guy's mouth as true because he's just as big of a liar as Corey Goode.
The most angry at our journalist, Joe from the Carolinas, and myself, CW Chanter.
They were not the most... If you read those messages, they don't even give a fuck about him and Joe. They don't give a shit about him and Joe if you read the messages.
It was easy to know and put together.
That's another thing. It makes no sense that he or Joe were doxxed, and that's why it's easy to find out that he's lying about his dox. But here, I'm going to prove it.
To be doxxed. In between, there was also meme campaigns, all seeming to come out of the same Twitter handles and channels. Crown with a numerical designation behind it. There's also an individual that's going by the name of Organa Alejandra, whatever. It's something that she uses apparently she uses I've seen her. She uses a Princess Leia avatar, as her thing. And what happened specifically with the...
God damn it, who are you? Minister of Propaganda?
The next person that did dox, as previously mentioned, was me and my father.
Thank you. He was not doxxed. And why is... Once he publicly told them his name, occupation, and gave everything to them, which he admits to right now, that it means he wasn't doxxed. And I said, when he did that video I just showed you, he should not have said that he was doxxed, because it was a lie and it attached him to the situation. I just showed you on Twitter where many people went around chirping, CW Chanter got doxxed, when CW himself this whole time has known he was not doxxed. And then finally, he admitted that I was right the whole time. So now you don't get to come ask me some bullshit until you go to him. You can come back and ask me anything you want and jump on me and say, why didn't I do this? Why blah, blah, blah. First, you better honor it to both sides and go ask him why he lied here. Here it is. You just heard he said, me and my father were doxxed. Well, listen to this.
Point where he's spreading disinformation and lies, suggesting that Kelly was contacted and asking for this information. And
which
then
she was.
Forward
you admitted to that, but listen.
With that line of inquiry to say and to state emphatically, if we're not responding, if Kelly's not giving us something, it must be this.
It was. I was right, CW. You never sent it. You won't send it to anybody, and you are lying, and I completely believe it now. But what did you say about the doxing again?
The next thing I want to point out is that you'd also be reasonable in understanding that he's trying to say that he's conflating information about my quote-unquote dox.
I said that you claimed you were doxed when you weren't. That's what I said. I can't conflate it. I said that. That's it. It's direct.
Months before Doxxgate occurred, I had released my own name, simply my name.
It's a lie. It's a lie. He's already got caught in a massive lie. He said that his father was doxxed and not him. Not true. He said it. I just played it. He said it in front of everybody. Jimmy Church shared it. All the other people shared it. So yes, all these people that will never watch him again watched him claim that he was doxxed by the same group that doxxed Joe. Now his name is forever attached to the fact that Joe was doxxed. Well, what happened, CW?
Benjamin Isaac Zavodnik in a video because I was tired of being harassed by people, one specific person in particular, who was threatening to release my name.
Okay, well, they weren't. You just said they were threatening to release your name and they were going to dox you. Now they can't dox you because you told them you were a lawyer and you told them your name, and so you know they're going to search for your name with lawyer after it. You led them directly to it, but you told us for months that you were doxxed by this group, but never specified that you had told them beforehand until I forced you to say it. Because you've been hiding it and you did it to attach yourself to this. Therefore, you don't deserve the credit. You don't deserve to be brought up. You don't deserve for people to think and treat you as if you're this victim that you've created yourself as. SJW tactics in motion, but what really happened again? Let's hear it.
When Doxxgate occurred and the Organa Alderana Twitter account revealed my name, my father's name, by releasing shots of my website,
You sent them to the website. Yes, you did mention your website too. Yes, don't lie. A bojangles of people saw your website and you never complained because you liked it. Yeah, give me a call if you need represented or whatever the hell you were saying. You used it. You bragged about it. I have other streams where you did, not just the one on your channel directly giving them permission to do so.
Professional website.
Professional website means you created it, you published it, and it contained a picture of you and a picture of your father, your name and his name. That's public information. By definition, especially legal definition, you can't say you were doxxed, but that's not what you're saying. You're trying to just tell people that I deserve to be attached and blah. You're lying.
Screenshots that I had not shown and the name of a father.
Yes, you did. They were on the website. You showed them. You uploaded them publicly. You put them out. A cop would fucking throw you out of the precinct for trying to claim you were doxxed with them. You know it and I know it, and that's why you're not only lying, you're not confused about it, there's no other explanation. He literally is redefining doxing so he can try to avoid. He's trying to get out of a lie that he told. A big one. They gave him an extreme amount of credit and got his name mentioned across Twitter and YouTube for months. And he knows it. And he knows how bad it makes him look.
Father, Alan, that I had not shared with anybody on.
Yes, you did. You shared it to the entire goddamn internet. That's not what a dox is, and you know it. Okay, let's let him get the last part out because it's so good.
Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, or whatever. That was them attempting to dox me.
No, it wasn't, and you know it's not. You can't just say it. Now, this proves he's willing to say anything if it gets him out of a lie. It proves that he's willing to say things if it gets him attention. He proves that he's willing to spread narratives if it gets him attached to big stories. And it proves that he's willing to lie about people right here in order to get you mad at those people.
Now the world will never know the truth.
If only there was a place where you could make any outrageous claim you want with absolutely no proof and millions of people would accept it as fact.
That's it. Thanks for taking that block off the internet, Dad.
But continue.
Pointed out from Jump Street in all my...
You did not, and that's a lie. It's an excuse. It is scummy.
Conversations with Unirock.
You could have owned up to it right now. You literally could have owned up to it right now and said, you know what? I did fudge that. And I wouldn't hold it against him. We talk a lot as streamers. We fuck things up. I constantly am correcting myself. He's not even willing to correct himself when it matters. In every big situation, this is his narrative. But he gets even worse.
Ha ha ha. And jokes on them. Even though they should be found guilty for...
Even though they should be found guilty
attempting to dox me
or attempting to dox him,
these guys are double down bone idiots.
They're double down bone idiots. So he just told you why He thought he could lie to all of us, the entire community, because they were attempting to, we don't even know that. He's literally put out every threat he's ever got and tried to attach it to his name to get as much credit out of everything that could make him a victim that he possibly could. But he's not willing when he gets this thing where there's people DMing him, because it's not public, saying, guess what? We're going to get your name and dox ya. Ha ha ha. These DMs. He's not willing to show it to a single damn person. Hell no.
Because they released the name of an individual that had his name already out there. Having said that, my father's name and likeness, sir.
Yes, it was. You put it out there on a public website and directed a group of people to it. When said group of people didn't dox you, but mentioned. So what is his dox? What did he claim Morgana doxed him? Well, I got a screenshot for my video, but I'll go ahead and hook you up real quick. I'm not pulling it up. It's easy to find. It was in Dark Journalist's video also, but it's literally Leia Organa says, somebody mentioning CW Chanter to her on Twitter, and she responds and says, yeah, they mention him in his name or something. She responds, yeah, this guy, he's a lawyer and he's a drunk and he just gets drunk as hell and goes and does these random streams and he's not credible and blah, blah, blah. That's not a dox. It's not. Not when you gave it to her. Before I start, I would like to make the following absolutely clear. Everything that happened after Joe's information was shared, involving the sharing of it specifically, still stands. That means that Corey Goode and Jordan Sather are still just as responsible for the most people seeing this. They're responsible for contacting Joe's place of employment, harassing many other healthcare workers, and many other patients by their actions. This fact alone means that the outcome of the situation is very bad for Corey Goode's reputation. Cliff High, a great creator whom I respect to say, Corey Goode is a liar and a fraud. Jordan Sather is a liar and a fraud. Edge of Wonder, both of them, are frauds and feed into fake stories to try and grow their YouTube channel to make money. Well, truth, I was lied to, and things are not how they seem. Normally, I take a lot of time to sift through evidence sent to me before reporting a story. This story was emailed to me by CW Chanter, even though he lied about emailing it to me later. I read through what he sent me quickly, checked it in Photoshop to see if anything strange jumped out at me, watched his video to see what he was saying, since he promised us all evidence would be sent in, that we would get to interview a whistleblower from the group that targeted Joe, and that whistleblower had absence. They're talking about videos to make, articles to write. Basically, the screenshots show that this group of people are fans. All I've received. I didn't get any more evidence. I didn't get any proof that this group did release Joe's information. I didn't get to interview the whistleblower. And with what I had, I couldn't prove a thing that my original video stated months ago when the story broke. I noticed this was wrong and mentioned it in a stream, but quickly realized that before I talked about it any further, I should check with other YouTubers and my team. In Discord, over a period of a few days, we shared all the screenshots, discussed the issue. Kev Baker, JoelBot5, among other YouTubers and viewers all decided that we need all of the original evidence from Kelly and CW, and we decided we would ask them to send it. Kev Baker did this on his show. But something strange happened. During his show, Kelly and CW found out that we needed this, which is good, right? They just want everyone to know the truth, so they sent us all the screenshots. Right? No. Kelly found out and started to act very rude and strange, along with CW. They told us they wouldn't send the screenshots or the videos that CW had to delete. So I went live and told the community what was going on. That I had changed my mind on what people called Doxxgate, and now I was 50-50 that the original group did it, or that 50-50 CW had something to do with it. I said this because it's true. It's how I felt. No one would get up on their channel saying that they can prove something 100% that happened when they can't, without an ulterior motivation. CW and Kelly, they responded much different than you would think. They responded with insults, a lot of talking, illogical ranting, and more insults. And after a few days went by, I was assured by Kev Baker that he would calm Kelly down and get the screenshots. About 2 or 3 days that go by, finally CW did a video with Kelly, and through the insults, lies, diversions that they promised, that the screenshots would be sent to Kev. So we waited another day, and after Kev didn't get anything from them, a member of my team shared in Discord a screenshot of Kelly claiming that, quote, she tried to send screenshots to Kev, but he didn't want them because of my Unirock. This is Kelly boldface lying. Kev didn't say that. So I had some more digging. Had to do some more digging and find out what was really going on in the situation. Instead of checking CW's screenshots and listening to Kelly's story, I went back to the start of the situation and found evidence that things are in fact completely different than what we were told, and that I had made a horrible mistake in sharing CW Chanter's story. Several other YouTubers with many viewers went and grabbed the real story of what happened to Joe and compared it to CW's videos.
Spirit and soul of the universe, spirit and soul of all creation, I begin with a prayer. Bless this rocket house and all who live within the rocket house. Honestly, my heart's beating. I'm alive. Before we begin, I've spoken to my guests at length before starting tonight, and I can assure you, we are here for people's benefit, not for people's harm. We are doing what we are doing because truth is important to get out. What I did is simple. What my guest did was hard, but I will allow her to speak for herself. What we will do now is simply the following, just bring you up to